Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video discussing the essay assignment that you have for Dante's Inferno, as well as the extra credit opportunity for those who are interested. So your essay assignment will give you two prompts to choose from. I'll go ahead and read them in a moment, but please, I do not want you to answer both of them. Only choose one. And your first prompt is this. Argue whether Dante makes his journey through hell believable through the use of imagery, simile, allusions, and/or diction. Support your opinion with details from the poem. So here you're simply being asked to state whether Dante's journey is believable. Remember, leave out any personal pronouns until you get to the conclusion. So if you choose this prompt, your thesis statement might sound something like this. Dante makes his journey through hell believable through the use of imagery, simile, and allusion. And then in each of your body paragraphs, then you're going to talk about first what sort of images he uses to help make this journey lifelike. Your second body paragraph, what sort of similes or comparisons using like or as does he make that help his journey become more real for the reader? And then finally, for example, if you choose to use allusion, then that last body paragraph, you're going to discuss how Dante utilizes real-life figures and characters such as Virgil or Francesca and Paolo, and how that helps to make the journey feel more real. Again, please do not forget to quote the text. It is futile to write an essay if you're not giving me evidence for it. Okay? It's an easy way to lose points. Please do not do it. The second prompt you have to choose from is this. Using two or more cantos that we have discussed together, explore the significance of the number 3 in Dante's Inferno. Support your analysis with details from the poem. So you're going to choose at least 2 cantos. You're welcome to choose more. And explain how Dante utilizes the number 3 and what sort of significance it has in the poem itself. So, for example, one of the great ones that you are going to want to choose is the last canto we just discussed, Canto 34, because there's a plethora of examples of the use of number 3, and in particular, how we talked about that existence of divinity within hell through the use of the number 3. So if you would like to choose this one of your thesis statement ideas might reference, for example, Dante makes use of the number 3 in cantos 1 and 34 and does so for the purpose of exploring the divine presence of God throughout the Inferno. The due date for this is going to be April 8th, so next week, exactly a week from today. And as you're going ahead and sending those essays, for those who have access to a laptop and can type them, please, if you can save this as a Word document, not a PDF, this will make it much easier for me as I enter in my comments. And additionally, the title of your document should be as follows. So you put Inferno _ your class _ and then your name. So for example, if I was writing an essay on the topic, I would put Inferno _ 11S, 11SE, and then _ my name. And then when you go ahead and attach this and send it as an email, just have the email subject be the exact same as the title. That'll make it easier for me to find. For those who do not have access to a laptop, it's not a big deal. Just go ahead and write out your essay on paper and then send me the images with the email subject the same as you see it here. Before I leave you guys with the extra credit optional assignment, I do want to go through some essay do nots that I do not want to see anymore in your essays, okay? And because we've been going through Dante's Inferno, why not style it after Dante's 9 Circles of Hell? So here we have Dante's Inferno, the essay writing edition. So you'll recall from circle number 1, that is where we had limbo. So people who on the whole were very virtuous, but however did not believe in God. When we talk about essay writing though, these are people who on the whole, brilliant work, they do very, very well, however they forget the little details. So for example, forgetting to indent. Please do not forget the form and structure of your essay is just as important as how you choose to write it. In the second circle, where we had those who were being buffeted around by the hurricane of hell, losing control of themselves, right? Circle 2 in the essay writing edition, not writing an outline and lacking a thesis statement, okay? You'll be just as lost and blown about in your train of thought as will be those who we read about in Dante's Inferno. Please write an outline and do not continue until you've had a thesis statement. In the third circle then, those in Dante's hell who are guilty of the sin of gluttony, so consuming too much. For the essay writing hell, guys, please do not quote entire paragraphs of text without analyzing a thing. Okay? More is not better in this sense. Anytime you quote something, try to limit it to no more than 2 lines of text, 3 at the maximum, and do make sure you analyze it before you move on. In Dante's Circle 4, we had those who were the hoarders and the wasters, and they, ironically enough, spend all of eternity rolling giant boulders around at one another. In Circle 4 of our essay writing hell, people who are guilty of circular logic, meaning so you run around in circles as you explain something, writing without ever getting to the point. Okay? The structure is very simple, guys. Put your topic sentence, so what are you going to talk about? Your main idea, what about that topic are you discussing, followed by your evidence and then your analysis. So if you find yourself repeating a lot, you are probably guilty of falling into this circular logic hole. Circle 5, those in Dante's hell who are guilty of wrath, severe anger. Okay, so really in essay writing, wrath and anger have nothing to really do with the topic. So in our essay writing hell, Circle 5 then is writing completely off topic. So this is not a time to go into a philosophical debate about whether or not you believe in hell. That's not what the prompt is asking. Okay? So please make sure you stick to the essay topic. Circle 6, heretics. And in this sense, we're talking about people who completely disregard the English language and the rules that come with it. Okay? Please, you guys know the rules of grammar and spelling. Do not disregard them. Okay? For example, whenever you move on to a completely new idea of thought, you must have a period. Okay? Avoid run-on sentences. Circle 7, those who in Dante's hell were guilty of violence. Here in Circle 7, we have those guilty of violence against the English language. Please, 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 especially because you're writing at home, I shouldn't see any spelling mistakes. And while we're on the discussion of spelling mistakes, when you are writing, for example, there, and there, okay, these are different. Please, please, do not make me cry as I read them, and always make sure you review your work. They're silly mistakes to make, especially in grade 11. So just do yourself a favor and review your draft before you submit it. Circle number 8 in Dante's hell, we have those who are guilty of simple fraud. So trying to dupe someone and passing things off as not your own. And so you'll notice we are getting worse in our list of essay writing faux pas. So please, this one, copying most of someone's work. You guys are all intelligent. You do not need to run to any of those online sites, particularly because when I have seen people do so in the past, they run to the wrong ones. So I want to know what you have understood, not what some random person on the internet has understood, okay? It's all right if you need inspiration or you're stuck. I'm more than happy to help you, but please refrain from Googling the essay entirely or at all, okay? And while we're on the topic of plagiarism and copying, the very lowest circle of hell, the one we just finished together, reserved for betrayers. And this one will be a betrayal of my trust, okay? So I'm trusting you guys to do the work on your own, and I believe that you can do it. So please, I do not want to see anyone do this, plagiarizing the entire essay. And I bring this up because I have seen it before, and it's very disappointing. So please, again, if I wanted to go on Google and read someone else's essay analyzing the Inferno, I would do that. But this is not what I am concerned about. I want to see your work, okay? So please, as you're writing, have fun and enjoy it, but avoid these 9 levels of essay writing hell. Speaking of which, the extra credit assignment is going to be exactly the same thing that I have just done for you, but with a little more finesse. So the extra credit assignment is going to be reimagining Dante's Inferno. So again, extra credit, you do not need to do this, okay? So if you don't want to, you can go ahead and turn off the video now. If you do, you will have the following prompt. So you're just going to recreate the 9 levels of hell that Dante has imagined, just as I have, and trying to do so in a way that is satirical and funny. So you're going to choose any topic you like. For example, I chose essay writing. You might choose posting things on Instagram or TikTok or surviving the COVID quarantine, right? Anything you want. And you're going to reimagine who finds themselves in that circle and what their punishment is, okay? So for example, you can find good ideas online. So there's one that's really funny that I read, and it's the Inferno, but for people who make grammar mistakes or even writing mistakes in general. And so here in their 5th circle, they have meaningless truisms, or those phrases that people say that really have no meaning. So this level is what it is. You be you. Naturally, forced to embrace reality and themselves exactly as they are, hence the irony. Souls on this level experience extremely high levels of depression, even for hell. Okay? So you can submit this either as a text if you want to write it up. If you have a lot of time to spare and you're feeling really creative, you can even cartoon it, whatever you like. And you can send those to me either as images or an attachment to my email by April 10th. So just a few days after the essay assignment is due. And I am going to post some sample links on Lesson just so you see the type of creativity you can get into.